What can you tell me about Urban Meyer deciding to step down and retire as head coach of the Ohio State?
Rich, there were rumblings about it. People who were pretty close to Urban and pretty plugged into him thought there was a good chance this would happen. I work with Chris Carter, who's close to him, and he had told people that this was going to happen. On Saturday night before our Fox had the Big Ten title game, and I had done a big sit-down with Urban Meyer earlier in the week. And afterwards, I sat down with Rob Stone, who's our host, and he had asked me, where do you think he is after this? And I said, just that. It's just like Urban Meyer is a big go with his gut guy. And I think things swirl with him and go in all sorts of directions. And I will say this, on Monday when we sat down, he was in the best mood I'd ever seen him in. He was downright chipper, which is not a word I would normally use to describe him. But all he wanted to talk about was this next game, Northwestern. Everything was steered towards that. And then it was like, I think he had come to a decision in his head. Physically, he had been struggling all year. Obviously, there was a ton of stress. A lot of that certainly self-induced with the Zach Smith situation and how he handled that. And I think that started a lot of it. And now, we'll see if he ever coaches again. I don't know. I mean, he's still only 54 years old. We've seen this from him before with his exit at Florida. So, I think it's tough for a lot of people to go, yeah, he's done coaching, just because we've heard that before from him.
I know. So that's tough to ask you the legacy question, what his legacy is, because as you pointed out, he left Florida over health concerns, went to ESPN, was actually a terrific analyst there before getting the job at Ohio State, which, was, I would say, his dream job, even though when he was at Utah, there was a conversation about Notre Dame being a great job for him or a dream job for him. And he's talking right now at Columbus. So I'm wondering if you really deep down think that he is, in fact, done coaching.
He's hard to predict on this. I mean, look, he sits out a year, and then what happens? Clay Helton's been on the hot seat. Then all of a sudden another huge job could come open and fall right into his lap. I don't know. I mean, he is 10 years older basically than he was last time out, and further along in his life, he's a grandfather now. So maybe this time it's different. I don't know. With Urban Meyer out there, though, or potentially out there are going to be some people looking at it going, this is what I'm getting to, is part of his legacy. He is the second best coach of his generation. And the guy he's second to is Nick Saban, who's the best college football coach in the history of the sport. So, you know what? He had a remarkable amount of success. There was a lot of drama around it. But at the end of the day, I mean, his winning percentage is staggering. And so I'm very curious to see how this is going to unfold going forward. I'm curious to hear how he explains some of this too, because we had seen all the shots of him on the sideline looking like he's in excruciating pain. He's had the brain cyst that he had gotten operated on before. Whenever I had talked to him specifically about it, he kind of deferred some of those questions, and he said, that's for a later time to really delve into that. He did say that he addressed some of it earlier in the year just because he felt like he was getting tired of the questions. Well, the questions are going to keep coming. We'll see how he handles them this time around and how forthcoming he really wants to be at this time.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.